finally getting together. How are you?
Oh gosh, I've got so much going on right now.
Tell me. What's going on?
You have a few minutes.
Sure, for you, of course. You're my friend.
Well, I have some really good news and I have some not so good news.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start with the not so good news. But just so you know, the not so good news could actually lead to a really good outcome.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
please tell me. I can't wait to hear this.
The not so good news.
Oh.
I think I told you I have kidney disease.
Something like
polycystic
that. I
kidney
remember
disease.
vaguely, yes.
Yeah. Well, I saw my kidney specialist last week, my nephrologist, and he informed me that my disease has advanced and I'm now in stage 4. Actually, I've been in stage 4 for a little bit now.
Oh,
and
I'm so sorry. What does that mean?
Well, basically, and thank you so much. It basically means my kidneys have reached a stage where they can no longer function adequately on their own. So I have to start considering some what they call renal replacement therapy, which is, yeah, it's, I've got 2 options. One's dialysis, one's transplant.
Okay.
And my dad suffered for years on dialysis. The more I learn about dialysis, the more I want to try to avoid dialysis. And my doctor says there's a good chance of me avoiding it. So this is a good thing.
That's great.
He says the best thing for me to do is to get a transplant, a kidney transplant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it because the more I learn about transplant, the more I realize how there's just great hope for my future. I can live a longer and better life with a transplant.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, so this is...
What a relief that is.
Yeah, and it's a real relief for me too. However, there's a process that I have to go through. Yeah, so I had no idea how many people were waiting for a kidney transplant.
Really?
Yeah, so well, I'll get on this list where I'm waiting for a kidney transplant from a deceased donor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because organ donors, right, are basically deceased donors.
Oh.
That's what the list is for. There's 100,000 people.
You're kidding me.
Waiting on a list in the United States.
Gosh.
For a kidney.
Just a kidney?
Yeah, from a deceased donor. And the average wait is about 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So what happens in the meantime?
Right. That what happens in the meantime is I will be on dialysis.
Oh, Risa.
So, you know, that's what I'm saying. I've got really good news, exciting news, but not so good news. But then again, you know, everything seems to be connected here in that as I, you know, peel down the layers and get more information, my doctor has also informed me that my best possible outcome would be not only getting a transplant, but getting a transplant from a living kidney donor. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
There's over 145,000 individuals in the United States who have donated one of their kidneys
Oh my
to someone in
gosh.
need. I have caught some stories that have been really heartwarming where people have even donated to strangers. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a special person.
My doctor said the best thing for me to do is share my story. And I was just wondering if you could help me with that homework assignment, sharing my story. Because,
of course.
as you can imagine, people aren't waiting in line to say, hey, take my kidney, right?
Right.
So
what do? You give me your story and I could put it on my Facebook page?
yeah,
or?
I was even hoping because you have such great writing skills, you might help me craft that story. Like, I could give you the content and the facts.
Okay.
But
We do it together.
oh, that would be so wonderful.
Absolutely. It's the least I can do. Oh my goodness. I'm happy to do
That
that.
would be so great because if I can get my story out there to increase awareness in my need and just the need for everyone for that matter, there may be a few people out there that might want to learn more as to how they can go about that. And so I need to educate because most people, like yourself.
Right. I have no idea how all this stuff works. I just thought someone else and something else would take care of it and protect all these people.
You just need to, you know, educate people as to what's involved with if they want to learn a little bit more about the opportunity of living kidney donation.
Well, you know, you got me thinking as you're speaking. I was thinking about some angles and some ways we could lead with this story.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of thing did you want to get out? I mean, what makes it? You said living donor. What
Yeah.
makes a good living donor?
Yeah.
What would you want to talk about? I mean, do you know enough at this point that we could?
Well,
I want to start formulating something.
Yeah. No, thank you. I just.
This is so exciting for me to be able to help you in this way.
Oh, Michelle, you're such a dear friend. You really are.
Well, you have been to me.
Your excitement gives me so much more hope. You have no idea because I I thought that I was hoping that you might say, sure, I'll help, but you know, you're excited to even learn more, which is really cool.
I want to help people, and I want to help you as my friend.
To answer your question, one of the key things that we need to get out is what does it take to be a living kidney donor?
Okay, makes sense.
And you know, some basics there. You have to be really healthy. Okay?
Oh,
you know,
okay.
you can't have an active
Didn't think about
disease or
that.
infection or
Oh.
anything going on. You have to be, and even those that think they're really healthy, I guess when the transplant center evaluates them, just like they evaluated me as a hopeful recipient, as potential donors, they go through a screening process, and it starts with either an online or telephone screening. And if they pass that, then they come into the transplant center. They're scheduled, and they go through a battery of tests.
Oh, wow. Do they have to pay for all those?
Oh, good question. No, they don't have to pay for any of the testing, and the surgery is all covered under my insurance.
So the recipient, potential recipient,
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, donor in this case.
Donor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a donor, they wouldn't have to worry about paying anything.
Oh,
All
no,
the
no,
tests
no.
are arranged.
No, the tests are arranged. You don't have to pay anything. Obviously, you know, to full disclosure here, there needs to be some time to go take the test. I don't know if they take time off work to do that.
Good
I mean,
point.
it could be a couple days involved or a few hours here. It depends how close they are to the transplant center. And I have information on the transplant center.
That's great.
Yeah.
You could use that.
Yeah.
Use that in the story.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
because they might be wondering, where is this
Right, you have
location?
to travel or what have you. So they're probably local, all over the place then.
Exactly.
It's
And they have an
amazing.
age range that's like from 18 to 65, but
Oh.
it's really all about health, you know. I don't know that
Okay.
they want to go younger than 18, but there are people
Sure.
that have been older than 65 because they've been healthier than people in their 50s,
Oh,
right?
sure,
So it's
sure.
all about health. And
Wow.
it has to be, you know, something that the individual truly feels a calling for, I guess is the best way I could say this, because as you can imagine,
message.
to do something like this is not something that the average person or even the above average person would be saying. You know, they don't wake up every morning going, let's see whose life I can save today by giving one of my organs, right? So, you know, it is going to, you know, I think we could give a good amount of information, but we would hope that people would say, tell me more because I want to share the story too. You really got me here, and I'm going to forward it on. And there might be some people that say, tell me more, I want to learn more. And as they learn more, you know, maybe something inside them might feel compelled to say, you know,
Right.
you know, how could they engage in this?
I'm sitting here listening to you speak of your story and what possible outcomes could be if you find a live kidney donor, which I didn't even know existed, was such a thing, as they say.
Right.
But you got me thinking. I mean, I kind of like what you're describing. I'm in that age range, and I'm healthy. I think. I mean, could I do it? I mean, could I help you? I mean, it doesn't sound that bad. I mean, wouldn't that be so cool if I could help you as your friend?
Oh,
I mean, wouldn't that
gosh.
be amazing?
It
I
would,
just-
it would be more than amazing, Michelle.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
that would be so.
Are my feet still on the ground?
I mean, this wouldn't be a bad thing at all. I mean, don't people live with just one kidney? I mean, what if you were born that way? Isn't it possible? I mean, I'd be fine, right?
Well, the transplant center would let us know. You know, they will go through. Absolutely, they would not take anybody that would be at extra risk of doing this. That's why you have to be so extraordinarily healthy.
I'm kind of excited about just talking about that.
Serious.
That could be really neat. I mean, I always want to get back and help other people, and you're my friend, so of all people, why couldn't I help you? It sounds like there's a shortage, and
You know, you just sent me to the moon with your intention. I will tell you
oh my gosh,
Oh my
Risa.
gosh. And really, if just this memory right here it just means so much to me. You have just touched my heartstrings like you
gosh,
can't believe.
Risa.
Because first of all, I know you're going to help me share my story, and as you share my
Yes.
story, maybe you know,
It could be me.
It could be you. Oh my God.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
Bring it. You are such a special person.
As are you. That's why I want to help in whatever way I can.
One other thing that I should let you know is my blood type. So I'm a blood type O, and I can only
Okay.
receive from an O. However, The good news about that, another thing that my doctors informed me about, is that there is something called paired donation.
Oh.
So if someone, do you recall what blood type you are? Do you know? You need to be
I don't
tested.
even know what that
Okay,
is.
well, we'll test you. You'll get tested rather, and if it turns out that you aren't a compatible blood type for me, there's something called, as I said, paired donation, and as a incompatible donor that's healthy enough to donate, there's a program where other people like me that have donors that are healthy enough to donate but aren't compatible to do it direct, they actually switch places, they trade places, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, so the best match for me and the best match for someone else is achieved through pairing, and there's a very sophisticated algorithm,
Oh my
part of
gosh.
a computer program that puts this all together.
So I shouldn't be discouraged if I'm not the same blood type or whatever blood type I need.
No.
I could give to somebody else
who their donor would actually end up giving to me. And the cool thing about this
Oh.
is that if we're part of a paired program, your donation could help many people. I mean, it could be...
It's like a chain reaction kind of thing?
It's a chain, yeah, it's actually called a chain, a
Oh.
donor chain. Yeah, it's
Oh.
funny you should say
Oh.
that. Yeah, so I'll get you more information about
I would love that. I would love that. Meanwhile, we're going to talk about your story. We're going to get it out there and
That's it.
and help
Let's
other
start
people and
there.
yourself.
That would be awesome.